welcome to an exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at a film. So for the next review, I thought I would go ahead and take a look at the next movie. Well, it is directed by one of the best directors out there, Christopher Nolan. Yes, we're taking a look at Christopher Nolan's recent film and his first film for the studio. And this is a movie I'm excited to watch because I'll tell you more into that when I get to it. The movie stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Fiona Pugh, alongside Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek, with Kenneth Branagh from Syncopy Productions, Oppenheimer. Yes, I'm taking a look at Oppenheimer. This movie is great. Now, the reason I also wanted to check out Oppenheimer, and this is DVD, not the Blu-ray, but the reason I wanted to check out Oppenheimer was I saw an article on the internet about Christopher Nolan's love for physical media. And we'll get to why he loves physical media, and it has to do with the packaging in this. So, Oppenheimer is a movie that, if you don't know the whole story of a man by the name of J. Robert Oppenheimer, he is the man responsible for inventing the atomic bomb during World War II that blew up Japanese and American soldiers in I believe Pearl Harbor, might have been Nagasaki or something like that. And if you don't know the story of that story, which killed Americans and Japanese, so yeah, the movie focuses on Cillian Murphy. He plays the main character Oppenheimer. He just goes by Oppenheimer, and he basically, it starts out, I thought it would go towards his whole life from when he was a child up until now. So, he basically wants to build these sort of atomic, not really atomic bombs, but he's basically, the beginning of the film, the show starts out in black and white. And we're introduced to Robert Downey Jr., who plays a guy that's trying to stop Oppenheimer. This is during the whole McCarthyism and Blacklisted. It's really hard to explain about a movie if you know the story of this man. And he basically wants to build this atomic bomb because if we did not have the atomic bomb, the Nazis would have controlled the world. And his idea is he wants to do that. So it goes through him, and he meets up with a bunch of these people. He meets up with Robert Downey Jr. He also meets up with Josh Hartnett, which I have covered a couple films with Josh Hartnett on the channel, 40 Days and 40 Nights and The Black Dahlia. And The Black Dahlia also took place in the 40s as well. But he basically wants to, he meets up with that guy. Then we get Matt Damon, who plays sort of an army sergeant, who his soldiers wants to build these sort of like build these atomic bombs, and the movie is just amazing. And we also get Emily Blunt, who plays Kitty, who's Oppenheimer's wife. Then we also get Fiona Pugh, who I did cover in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, so that I did cover with her in that movie. But he basically, he builds these this atomic bomb, and he basically, how do I explain about this? The visual stuff is fantastic. Christopher Nolan is just mesmerizing, and we also get a scene of where he meets up. There's a lot of black and white stuff. There's IMAX stuff in the middle of the film. So, unfortunately, the DVD I have does not include the IMAX stuff. Which is also weird because Jordan Peele released a movie called Nope, which had the IMAX sequences intact on the DVD. I really don't have no earthly clue why Christopher Nolan and Universal wouldn't put the IMAX scenes in there. So, it basically goes through the creation of this atomic bomb. So mid for the film, he'll put marbles inside containers, and that's how he judges on the whole friction or not. And interesting enough, Josh Peck, the Nickelodeon star, is in this as well, and he is unrecognizable. I'm not going to get more in detail, but for those who know, Josh Peck is a child actor who he had so much weight, but lost all that weight and like so unrecognizable in that. He plays the other guy that Oppenheimer would hire. Josh Hartnett's kind of like his right-hand man. He sort of wants to find the idea. Then we get Matt Damon, who doesn't like Oppenheimer. A lot of people don't like Oppenheimer. Eventually goes into the whole McCarthyism because the man was actually blacklisted. So there's some great shots in the film. I'm trying not to take too long with my reviews, so I'm kind of like making it short because you really have to experience Oppenheimer because it is really, really amazing. This is, in fact, a really good movie. And there are lots of scenes I can go in depth of what really this movie is about. I'm trying to think what else can I mention, though. And, yeah, it's great. I'm trying to think, yeah. I didn't see this in theaters. I was actually going to go see this in theaters. Yeah, it also talks about the Manhattan Project. Yeah, Oppenheimer's a guy who also whose landmark work on the Manhattan Project created the first atomic bomb. So it was during the whole Manhattan Project. Like I said, if we do not create this, the Nazis are going to gain control, and basically we're screwed. If the atomic bomb was not created, Nazis would have but would have controlled Americans if it was not for this man. Oppenheimer, J. Robert Oppenheimer was a genius. I mean, he is really that good. I shouldn't say that good. The man is just a genius. And this is actually based on a book called Americans Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragic of J. Robert Oppenheimer by Cal Bird and Martin J. Sherwin. But, wow, this movie was written... I was surprised that this movie actually was written and directed by Christopher Nolan. So he wrote it for the screen, and he is just amazing. The guy... It has a very filmic look. The movie definitely has. I feel the IMAX scenes would be great, but unfortunately, I don't have the Blu-ray to see if those IMAX scenes are any good. Unfortunately, not present on the DVD. But I gotta tell you, even without the IMAX scenes, this movie is still good and still great. And I feel this is a great movie to show in history class, though there are some scenes I felt were a little bit too weird. Like, there's one scene in it, though, where apparently there's a sex scene with Oppenheimer and, I'm going to say Emily Blunt plays his wife. I thought Fiona Pugh was his wife in the movie, but no, it's Emily Blunt. There's a nude scene with that in it. But there's also a nude scene with him naked. I feel like it's that thing. There's also some really, really good shots. Like, you even see, like, the radiation poisoning on the people. It's very hard. It's very hard to watch. You see, like, the skin peel, and it's just, wow. Holy crap. That is some scary, scary shit. And he's just, wow. This movie, I hate to say it, but don't get me wrong. This movie is great. This movie is going to earn a spot on my best list. I watched this with my folks, but I didn't really pay attention much because my folks were talking while I was watching the movie. Once the movie started, I was like hooked and invested. This movie should get Christopher Nolan. I feel he should win the Best Director. In fact, Cillian Murphy won a Golden Globe for this role. So that's also the kind of reason. I wasn't going to watch this. I was going to wait next week. But I figured I'll get another one out. Next week we'll go back to the standard 2 movies per week, guys. So I don't really have much to say about Oppenheimer. It's a movie you really have to watch. I know this is brief, but I really honestly don't want to take much time. I don't really want to go in depth in the film because obviously everybody knows the story about this man. And the ending is really good but tragic. Oh, I also forgot to mention, there's one scene, some scenes in the film he meets up with Albert Einstein. He's good friends with him. And he basically, Einstein gives him some tips about what's going on. And it's really good. Then eventually after the creation of that, they show that, and I gotta tell you, the atomic bomb scene, scenes in that is breathtaking. I mean, like, it's super bright. Even for DVD, this is still bright. I'm sure the Blu-ray will look really crisp. And like, wow, I think my eyes were watery. It's just that good. The cinematography is great. The acting is great. Everything's top notch. Like I said, this movie I have a spot for this movie on my best list at the end of the year. But yeah, it's really good. So I'm not going to go more in depth into it. I want to try to make my reviews a little bit short. Plus, I have 2% battery right now. But let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork as well. And I'm going to show you why I think Christopher Nolan really cares about physical media. Let's take a look at that sweet artwork. I love this artwork. Now, I did give it a slip. I had some gift card money I wanted to use, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to treat myself out to Oppenheimer, and I'm going to grab Oppenheimer. And yeah, I didn't watch special features because I wanted to get this review out, but I will watch this. I will watch this on my own, and maybe I'll do a YouTube short on the special features. So eventually I'll do the special features and do like a YouTube short and make them quick. But in terms of special features, this is a double disc. I didn't get the Blu-ray because it was more, and I wanted with the special features disc. But we get the story of our time, the making of Oppenheimer. Meet the Press Q&A panel Oppenheimer, which is really cool. You get a Meet the Press episode on here. I'll have to watch that one. And to the end of to end all wars, Oppenheimer and Atomic Bomb and more. I'm going to assume delete scenes, alternate ending, and probably trailers. But this is really cool. This is a out of a 220.1, which honestly that's my only downside. They should just stick with the 235s or 240s. Don't do like 220s and stuff like that. Don't. But this is what I think is really cool. I give Universal and Christopher Nolan credit, and this is really cool. Discard. Yes, we actually got Discard. I'm pretty excited because there's Discard on the DVD, and you get it on the special features disc, which is really cool. I think Universal needs to go back and do more Discard on their movies. I really miss it. The last time they ever did Discard was on the Back to the Future the Animated Series Complete series. They did Discard on that. But I mean, that's so cool. You really got to give Christopher Nolan credit for caring about physical media. Physical media isn't going to die, guys. Just please hear me out. It's not going to die. But anyways, so my only complaint was that, you know, it can be long. This is a, how many minutes is this movie? It doesn't explain. Yeah, this is a 3-hour movie, so it does drag here and there, but for a 3-hour movie, it went by super fast. I mean, this was such a, yeah, so yeah, is there anything else I can mention about this film? And this movie, like I said, I praise for everything about it. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say, though. So, yeah, final verdict, should you see Oppenheimer? Definitely. I can highly recommend you seeing Oppenheimer. This movie was a masterpiece from start to finish. What I've seen of it was great. If it starts out slow, hang in there. It's really, really good. I mean, I really liked Oppenheimer, and I had a fun time with this. I can highly recommend checking out Oppenheimer. If you have not seen it, please do yourself a favor and check this out. So that's my review of Oppenheimer. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content I put on the channel, you can like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, do everything the YouTube does. I'm sure YouTube does all that. So yeah, yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. So yeah, go watch Oppenheimer, and yeah, go watch the movie. Hopefully it wins some Oscars, because I'm sure this movie's going to at least get. I think this movie's going to get the. I think this movie's going to get a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars when it happens. So, anyways, yeah. So that's all I have to say about. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Oppenheimer. So, anyways, check the movie out, and yeah, and as always, guys, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.